going on, GameLeapers? Are we excited to learn how to jungle from behind like a world champion? I'm Coach Eggs and I've had students climb divisions and tiers from the lessons I'm about to teach you. This game is featuring 2019 world champion FPX Tian on Graves and G2's Yankos on Kindred. These two are arguably the best junglers in the world, and I'm going to show you guys what they do that you don't. I guarantee you will improve from watching this video. As always, please help the channel out and like the video for more high elo analysis, subscribe of course, and head on over to our website for access to our hundreds of videos, courses and guides. I'd like to officially welcome you all to the Chinese super server where there is never a dull level 1. So they invaders 5, get Draven's Flash, very nice. So why does Graves start at red? The first thing we think about as junglers is our matchup guys. So if you're stronger than the enemy jungler in the early game, you look to invade and contest them over camps. If it's a fairly even matchup, then you path towards the side of the map where you have strength early on. But if it's a hard matchup, your goal is to avoid the enemy jungler and reach your safety net, which would be level 3 on Sejuani for example. Kindred outranges Graves by 75, giving her the early advantage. So Yankos can certainly think about invading after taking red buff level 1. In reply, Tian starts at his red, giving him some 1v1 power, and heads straight to his blue buff to prevent Kindred from cheesing. If you guys are in situations like these, and it will happen, it's so important to communicate with your team and pay attention to your minimap. Most often these level 2 fights can scale into 3v3s and 4v4s, so being aware of everyone's movement is crucial. The fight continues and Graves plays this nicely, queuing against the wall to get the rebound, and when Yankos flashes over the wall here, Tian should just follow him to secure the kill. And in most early game fights guys, you just want to secure the kill whatever it takes. Just get that champion off the map, and this situation would have been a 2v1. Lissandra ends up dying and Graves fights Akali, picks up the kill. That was actually nice E, but I don't know what he's doing here. I think this is his way of apologizing to Yankos for last year's World Championship, so he just gives him a free kill. Pretty troll. And we reached the most important part of the video. The jungle is not just your side of the map, guys. It's not 6 camps, it's 12. And for the first 5 minutes, we always prioritize the enemy side of the map. Why? You getting fed is important, don't get me wrong. But if you can do so while denying the enemy gold and XP, it has a much greater impact on the game. He's got a longsword advantage, 10 AD, so he wants to put the pressure on here, guys. And how does he make this decision? First of all, by looking at the map, but thinking about the jungle in terms of 12 camps and not 6. And I've seen this from even like Master, Grandmaster players. They don't even trespass into the enemy jungle because they think they can't. I'm here to tell you that you can, and it is imperative if you want to compete at the highest level. If you incorporate a little bit of this into your games, I guarantee you will win the jungle most games. So let me pause it here. Now Yankos 5-headed this situation. How many of you, if you were Kindred, would have ran to blue and tried to do it before Graves got there? I think most of you would have, and it's fine. It's fine. Because we're going to understand why Yankos 5-headed. So he does walls for a number of reasons. Taking walls is quicker, and in this situation, right, getting level 3 is way more important than the effects of blue buff. Yankos had enough XP from the kill mid and soaking a little bit from the wave to hit 3 off walls. While doing the camp, he heals off his W, it's smart, and he hits level 3 in a much stronger position to fight Graves. If Kindred started blue before walls, Graves gets there in time with his longsword advantage, and it's a much more dangerous situation. Unfortunately for Tian, Akali rotates over and he ends up dying. That was a nice play from Akali. And actually a nice play from Graves, like waiting in the pocket and using his sweeper. So it was a really good play from both junglers. Graves was a little bit too aggressive, I think, when he chased Yankos. He should have been looking at his map. But on the whole, if a student did this, dude, I am over the moon. Insane. I'm going to pause it again here, guys. Now, whenever you're off base, you always want to be thinking not just about yourself, but the enemy jungler. It's one of the most important concepts of jungling. It's about denying the enemy team, especially their jungler. Yankos in this situation is most likely taking top crab, so how do we want to counter that? We need to trade something on the map, so where would you guys run to? Now, I know Tian is lining up to go to crab here, so if you cheated, you're going to cop it. But yes, you go to bot crab. You trade something on bot side for top side. And this is what we see here. You could even go a step further and say, well, maybe Yankos is going to go from top crab to Graves' Raptors or Krugs and then gank top. So Tian, after taking crab, might look at Yankos' Raptors or gank mid or go to Krugs. It just depends on the situation and what happens on the map. But the answers to most questions, guys, if not every question, is the bottom right. And maybe a little bit of scoreboarding. After taking crab, Tian's like, right, I go mid, or do I go to his Raptors, or do I go to Krugs? Look at his camps. He has not farmed a single camp after taking his red buff level 1 and then fighting Kindred level 2 at blue. So he ganks mid, and then he's like, well, what am I going to check here? You see him question marking here, so he knows Kindred is playing top side of the map, which he is. And he ends up seeing the crab's been taken. Okay, that's obvious. And he has no option here but to run to Raptors. Now his Raptors may have been taken by Kindred, When you see Raptors up here, it's like you could actually ask Yankos, like, why didn't you take these after you saw Graves contesting Scuttle Crab with Set? Like, you saw him on the map, you could have taken Raptors for free here. But Yankos, I'm guessing, just wanted to reset. He's probably on Red Smite Longsword or Red Smite Longsword boost, something like a really good goal value for him. So he just wants to reset and play towards his next mark, which has just appeared at Gromp. Graves in this situation knows he's behind an XP, so just clear your top side, get Red Smite, and reset. I just want to say, guys, if you're keeping up with me, well done. Like seriously, this is the highest of the highest level going at it, and I love breaking it down for players who need that extra help to climb out of their elo. And I actually use this VOD a lot in coaching sessions to show students what jungling really means. Now, Yankos shows bot here, and here we go, 1v1ing the Ezreal, and the Chinese Ezreal, man, the super serve ends up killing him. Pretty unfortunate that for Yankos, it looked like, but this is great for Graves. Now, he was behind before. Now, he's actually the same as Kindred, right? They've both got the same items. Well, Graves actually has 10 extra AD because of the longsword, and Kindred went boots. And if I was Graves here, I would even think about doing Drake. If I was coaching a student here, I'd just tell him to start Drake. So why do Drake? Like, what do wolves actually mean in this situation? Kindred just died. Your bot lane has prio, mid lane has prio, or you can gank mid and give it prio, and then you think about doing Drake. And this is my next tip, guys. Making a list of priorities in terms of camps and objectives. Thankfully, a fight breaks out mid and Graves comes here. Obviously, this is an urgent situation, so get your head in there and help out. And Akali has to recall here or back off. So, this is good. So they didn't take Drake, which I think was a missed opportunity. They'd have it by now. And Kindred shows topside as well, so there's definitely a missed Drake. But at least Graves gets something off of the map. Kindred gets a kill topside, so Graves is saying, right, I'm getting something bot side, takes his red buff. After this, where should Graves go? I'm going to pause it as well. After taking Kindred's red buff, after Kindred just showed topside, what can Graves do? What else can he take on the map? What else can he do bot side of the map? So he either goes to Krugs. Krugs is a little risky just because their bot side is up, but the thought of doing Krugs is the most important thing. Or he does Drake. Drake is still free. But watch this play that he makes. It's kind of troll. At this point as well, you can see, guys, that Drake is actually getting pinged by someone. I think the reason he ganks mid here is because he thinks Kindred is going to gank, but Yankos, again, is too smart to know that. So Kindred doesn't gank. And Yankos here, where should he be? Where do you think he's going to be? If Graves takes Kindred's red buff, and Yankos knows that, what's Kindred going to be doing? And here he is. And she ends up winning this 1v1, which is just unfortunate. You know, she survives on 50, 100 HP. That happens. So if I can give you guys a tip of this situation is that running from like bot side to top side, it takes like 15, 20 seconds. So if you do have a free Drake, you take it. Not only is it good for you in terms of gold and XP, of course, but it denies the enemy team. This idea of denying the enemy jungler and the enemy team, very important. So there's no point of him running the top side. Just take the Drake, it's free. Maybe Krugs before that. Blue, reset. Let's think about Kindred here, guys. So she was top side before, right? So where is she going to be now? Most likely going to be pathing towards bot side, right? Because normally junglers will path towards the resources. So Kindred taking Rift Herald and probably Crab and probably Blue and her whole top side. There's nothing else there. Unless she wants to gank Kayle and Aatrox, but she doesn't want to go to that lane. So bot side is where she's going to be. The Graves here can communicate that, ping her Krugs, ping her Raptors. And as you guys can see, Kindred's in the brush. And this is just all micro. So let's just sit back and watch this, see how it plays out. Graves E's out, knowing Set might like flash E or ult him, something like that. Now it's just about playing the fight, seeing what happens. See his map control here, he's not centering the camera on himself, he's watching how the fight plays out. So he gets information. This is his way of determining how he's going to play the fight, right? He's not just walking in there blind. He can formulate a plan on the fly that way. Pretty nice R over the wall. He's auto-attacking. This is just all like being comfortable on a champion and also just playing Graves, you know, busted Graves, by the way. And I'm going to say it again. You guys know what I'm going to say, right? Look at the map. Like, why did he not take Drake? I think this dude is allergic to Ocean Drake. At this point in the game, guys, it's a little harder to jungle track. Like, Kindred here is probably going to be running topside, right? Because she was just bot. Even though Drake's up, running topside, and there you go. There she is. So Set, Kindred, show up. So again, this is just about staying the course, playing the fight, and seeing what's going to happen. Popping your refills, of course, very important. And you just have to react to what your teammates do. But she actually makes a nice play and rotates around to dive the Set, which is good. I like that. And this is just all mechanics based, so that was actually so clean what he did. So R-ing away from the Set engage. There's grays when you're against a melee champion, if it's Set or if it's a jungler, like, I don't know, Kha'Zix or Lee Sin. It's very important to keep that distance. Maintain that space and kite effectively. So he doesn't stay and take that turret because he knows Kayle is off respawn. She's going to be there soon, and there she is. So he just farms up. And at this point, he's now thinking about his back timer, guys. So he wants to buy either Glaive or he wants to buy Ghostblade. So knowing your back timers like that just off by heart informs you of what you should do. It optimizes your play, saves you time, right? This idea of efficiency again. I've covered everything I want to in terms of the jungling this game, and I hope you guys have learned something. If you've got questions about any of the situations in this video, please leave a comment down below, a question, and I will get back to you with as much detail as possible. So I'm now going to show you the highlights from the rest of this game, guys, so pay attention to Tian's build and how he's playing these fights. Remember, he's always using his camera to look at the fights if they start before he gets there, so he can assess the situation and see what's happening. Better informs his play. If you have a video suggestion or a game you want to see analyzed, it might be a certain matchup or from a certain player or streamer, let us know in the comments down below. I had a lot of fun making this video and I hope you guys had fun watching it too. Please drop a like before leaving the video, fam. Subscribe so you don't miss any of the high elo VODs we upload, and get yourself signed up to our amazing website that has all the resources you need to take your game to the next level. This has been Coach Eags. Until next time.